I just wanted to apologize in advance for my voice. I've somewhat lost it and it's a little bit raspy, but it remains enough to record as I just couldn't bring myself to take the day off. Something I've got to get a little bit better at. Coverage though centers on rather frustrating developments for Air France KLM and some positives as well. It's a very much mix and match. As you may have noticed, groups and airlines are reporting their first quarter results. What this allows us to do is understand how these respective companies performed, and potentially the adversity they faced as well as their future outlook. And the most intriguing thing I personally think about them all is they each are unique depending on the circumstances, geographical location and business model, meaning we really see how different operating environments impact different carriers. Air France KLM, however, reported an operating loss of 306 million euros for the first quarter, which is above what their guidance suggested, and is worse than that of Q1's performance for the 2022 calendar year. The company, like other airlines that have reported losses thus far, said it's hard, given the operating climate and challenges they face, to perform to a satisfactory standard. The first quarter, therefore, is always labelled as challenging to a certain degree. While the first quarter is tough, the group also said there were a handful of other external issues that really prevented themselves from excelling, such as labour shortages faced at a handful of their airlines, strikes that continued at airports where they're based out of, and the continued global engine shortage, alongside aircraft that are unable to be maintained on time, which led to a longer than expected parking up of units, meaning they weren't able to get on the network, and that therefore impacted scheduling and such. Despite the losses that were published, Air France KLM did say they were able to report higher revenues with a 42% increase year on year, with revenues at 6.33 billion euros, up from the 1.9 billion euros from the 1 year prior. This being a positive increase, and it really highlights that the business will lean on these positives as they come into the summer, which, as I'm sure you all know, is incredibly important for these airlines and groups to do well in. But with constraints in terms of aircraft groundings, labour shortages, and other factors, airlines since the pandemic have really struggled to make the most of the demand that is there, and it's a lot more than maybe people initially expected. The group will look towards the summer for increased revenue and also hoping to be profitable. However, with continued operating conditions proving tricky and external factors impacting how businesses choose to operate, it's unclear just what effect this will have on the group for the next quarter or two. One thing that the company can be pleased about, though, is strong bookings. Even despite the cost of living crisis, their CEO said that they've experienced some fantastic booking for the next couple of months, indicating that people still want to or need to travel on their aircraft. If it wasn't for this strong booking, I think the group would paint a very different picture for the months ahead, and their performance would be far worse alongside outlook. So now, just like for many other groups and airlines within the industry, we wait to see how their second quarter and third quarters are, how their performance is over the summer, and then take the time to reflect, compare and contrast, and understand just what their summer season was like. If you have any thoughts, you can let me know down below in the comments. And a very big thank you for tuning in. Again, apologies for the voice that does sound probably a little bit off. It's very painful to talk, so what I'll do now is go off and edit this, take some Panadol, and hopefully be back tomorrow with a more normal sounding voice. But I appreciate the support, and I'll see you next time.